right when I have to leave for work. so, so I start the live stream. First thing I see is a chat from Ryan Muir, right when I have to go to work. You're welcome. I did it on purpose. Uh, well, I mean, I'll be here, and this video will be here, you know, a while. So don't worry about it. Okay. This is Peter from MNN. It has been a while since I think I've done a live stream. It's hard to say. And it's been it's been, let's see, over 3 weeks since my last live. The last live I went to was end of the year, December 30th, Shiglapes. Yeah, but due to a lot of stuff, due to personal matters, stuff going on with me, it's been a bit tough. So I haven't been able to just kind of go out to just any show or just, shows that I would like to go to. There were a few that I wanted to go to here in Osaka. But yeah, it's been tough. Let me get straight to the review first. But yeah, good to see you guys, or welcome for those who haven't been a part of a live stream with me in a while. I actually shaved today. I had about 2 weeks worth of scruff, and today was like the first time in a while I actually wore jeans instead of just my sweatpants, because I've been at home just trying to take care of stuff, clean up, look for work and all that stuff. But tonight I found out that Dimrays, if you guys do not remember, and maybe you may not have seen the interview, is Hiro Tajima. Yes, back to young Pete. Good old young 47. But Hiro Tajima, who is the founder and the host of J-Rock Tours Tokyo. We interviewed him, both Scott and I, back in September, and he had introduced this Osaka band called Dimrays. And I checked it out. I liked their stuff, and told myself at some point I'll get to them. I'll try to interview them, support them, and go check out a live. But things happened. Towards the end of the year, there was a lot of Bandmade, a lot of Hades, various interviews, and just me trying to take care of stuff and stay alive. So tonight was the first time I found out that they were doing a two-man show tonight at a place. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce it. It's Goith, Goith, because that's not a typical Japanese word. So anyways, it's in South Osaka, so a little bit further than Big Twin Diner Shovel, where I usually go. What's up, Peter? Where I where I usually go. So it's about an hour 15 south. And yes. So Dimrays has been on both Alan Daikodek and Ryan's radar for a bit. Daikodek did a reaction video and reached out to them, and Dimray said thank you, because after the reaction they got more viewers and subscribers. And then Ryan this week, just a couple days ago, posted a video, an interview that they answered some questions and they sent it back to him. So you guys can check that out, so you guys can get to know them. Now, the two bands that played tonight, it was basically only about 2 hours. Doors opened at 7 p.m. Show started at 7:30. So Free Aqua Butterfly was from 7:30 to 8:10, and then Dimrays was 8:30 to 9:10, and then afterwards was Buppan. And what Buppan is, if you ever hear that word, Buppan, That's basically the merch table where they're selling stuff. So if you ever come to Japan and you hear that word, that term, that's what they mean at the end of the show. Buppan. Okay? So, yeah, I did get to talk to them, but we'll get into that. So tonight was actually something called a floor live. In Japan, that's what it's called. I actually don't know what it's called anywhere else. But rather than setting up all the equipment and stuff on stage, they actually put everything out on the floor in front of the stage, like on the floor, same as the fans, same as the crowd. You know, monitor amps, everything. So the bands were performing like basically level. And there's good stuff about that, and there's kind of iffy stuff about that. And I'll get into that. But yeah, so at 7:30, free Aqua Butterfly went up. Actually, right before they started, I was right in front of the bass because I figured, well, there's Naho from Dimrays, who's the bassist, and then Akane, the singer. So I decided to just stand in front of the bassist, and I do like bassist overall. And tonight kind of didn't help in any way because Saki, who is does vocals and the bass for Free Waka Butterfly, I just said hi, hey, how are you? It's my first time to see you guys. And then I told her, oh, you know, I'm from America. I'm like, oh, where? Like, oh, Los Angeles. Oh, Los Angeles. That's cool. And throughout their set, she was really just kind of chummy and trying to get me involved. I wasn't totally in the headbanging mood, but she kind of like would come over to me and like stand next to me and come on, like, you know, put your hand up and do this and do that. And so I played along because I mean, I know as a performer, like I've been on stage, I've been on the other side, and I know what it feels like when people are not involved and people are adamant like I am too cool to do anything, you know, like not the best attitude to have, especially from the performer's point of view when, you know, you're just kind of standing there like a stick up the ass. Um, so yeah, but Free Aqua Butterfly, first time hearing them. I've never heard any song from them. I've only seen their name float around like on Twitter. They're an Osaka band, and I'd say at the core, they are a metalcore band. Um, yeah, so they are a metalcore band, but they infuse a lot of different rhythms. As I was listening, I was trying to like, okay, what's going on here? What's going on here? So I mean, they do have like straight metal going on and like just driving beats, but there was also like, I don't know if it's like the samba or the bossa nova or what other Latin beat. Like, I think I studied that years ago, but I don't remember at all what it is. But there was some Latin beats in there. There was like the ska beat in there, a little bit of funk. I think, yeah, at one point they had a little jazz breakdown. So that was pretty cool too. So the guitarist had a, you know, was playing clean and doing some stuff. And I was like, oh, that's nice. So a lot of fusion going on. There was definitely like, you know, growling, screaming, and then, you know, singing as well. But super, super high energy. Like, I think they were just like pedal to the metal and they just went at it. Um, but yeah, so because I was in front of Saki, and not just because I was in front of her, but because she is the way that she is, um, really fun, really active, really cute. You know, she had the wireless for her bass, so she was running around with the crowd at the same time. Just a lot of dancing on her part. Um, there's a sort of this dance that a lot of bands do. Like there's a certain rhythm that comes on, and like everybody who's a fan knows what to do, so they're all doing the little feet shuffle. And I've seen it from a lot of different bands. You know, I mean, Dimrays did it tonight. Free Aqua, I've seen it with She Glapes. I think Hades has done a variation of it, but like every band kind of has that thing. Not every band, but you know, a lot of bands do. So it's a very Japanese thing. You won't find. Oh well, It's hard to say. I mean, I don't know like what goes down with some bands and some shows. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. I really liked their drummer. Very explosive. He had that like brat, dat, dat, dat. He had that like that snap that I really like, and there's very explosive quality to his drumming. Um, if you guys listen to like various drummers, like they're so varied in terms of their tone. What's up, Eddie? In terms of their tone, their timbre, like just the way they snap and they hit the rhythm, like it really really makes a difference. If you ever played with like different drummers, you know how that drummer makes a huge difference in the for the entire band. So, but I really like this style. Um, yeah, just explosive comes to mind when I was just listening to him. It's really good stuff. Um, and then Saki ended up like grabbing my hand, and then oh, great, great, yeah, Electric Mama is good stuff. Um, and I do have an interview with them that's been in archive for a while. It'll come out at some point. Uh, so yeah, Saki, the bassist, grabbed my hand and she made me like run around with her, like. um, so that was fun and interesting. And Chris, Scruffy underscore 619 on Twitter. He's like, hey, I saw you. I saw you running around. I was like, oh, yay. That's cool. But hey, you know, I had a good time and I really appreciated it, her enthusiasm and her willingness to kind of like take me out. But yeah, such a mix, very eclectic sound. They had some very heavy stuff, but again, a lot of different like rhythms too. So, uh, yeah, I don't know. Like, for you guys, I mean, you guys can talk about it in the chat, but do you like it when bands stay more within one genre in a song, or do you like it when you have like three, four different types of rhythms and sounds and whatnot? Um, I'm not totally sure. I think I do prefer a little bit more straightforward, even though I love progressive songs. Um, I think sonically, like tone wise, and just I think the mood still needs to feel a little bit more the same. That is true, as long as it is good, right? It does depend on who's playing and what they're playing. So, but yeah, super fun, super high energy, great band to see live. I will check out their stuff on YouTube and see how it is, like on recording, because that'll always make a huge difference. Like some bands, they're great live, and then what you hear isn't always the best, and vice versa. So that was Free Aqua Butterfly. And then there was a 20-minute break to, you know, break everything down and then have Dimrays bring out their stuff. I greeted Akane. I said, hey, you know, I'm Peter, you know, I'm Peter from Twitter, you know, I said I was coming. She's like, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I was like, oh, you know, like, I know you did an interview with Ryan and he's my friend. She's like, oh, yeah, thank you. And so we talked a little bit, and then I also talked to Naho, the bassist. Um, she's a really interesting character. Um, they're like a bit of a contrast. Akane also was sort of a deeper voice. She comes off a little bit more mature, slightly more serious, although still a lot of fun. And then Naho is just like this big kid hopped up on sugar, like just Tang and Kool-Aid and just running around and super high energy, really like raspy voice and like pigtails and really cute, really fun, especially live. And with Dimrays, you know, I heard their stuff previously, like over the past few months, and yeah, I mean, like the sound system. So again, it was a floor live. Everything was set up like on the floor in front of the stage. So then there's only that much room for the crowd. But it's a Monday night on you know in Japan. So on a Monday night, there's not going to be that many people who are going to be willing to go out to a show after having done work and then going to work the next day. So my ticket was number 20, and I think I was maybe like one of the very last ones to buy a ticket, maybe a few more. So between the two bands, because some people, were in there and then they went out, or maybe they left, but I'd say, yeah, anywhere max was 25 people, like in the crowd. Very super intimate. And again, the fact that it was a floor live and it is so okay, I'll get into this. Well, no, let me talk about Dimrays first. Um, very chill, very cool, very youthful. um, a lot of us may listen to bands like Bandmade. Um, Baby metal is a little bit different because it's a whole other creature of its own. But like maybe Nemophila or Love Bites, like these are people who have been around 10, 15 years now. So they're, in their 30s, somewhere around there. But with Dimrays, I'm thinking it was a very college energy. All I could think was like, man, this is such young energy. If you've ever heard an older person laugh and a younger person laugh, and the difference between it, like I remember watching this Korean variety show, and the host differentiating between uh, a young girl's laugh versus like an ajuma or like obasan's laugh. It's kind of like like the super hyper energy versus more of the and I think with Dimrays you could really vibe the youthfulness. Um, but it's interesting because their youthfulness really belies just how hard and how heavy they can go. So for me, like I think Akane is an amazing vocalist. Like she's got a fantastic voice. Um, and she reminds me a bit of Regan from Saiseiga. Because both of them have like super gorgeous, clean voices, but also like really strong like growls. Like really like they can go at it. But I was trying to think like what is the difference though? And I think if Regan is clocked at like maybe 11, or to use another sort of analogy, if Regan is like 90%, if Regan is 90% dark chocolate, then I would say Akane is somewhere between 60 and 70% dark chocolate. So it's like a thick, rich, full voice. And like really, I mean, it's really good. Like she's really, really, really good. Like her singing voice is fantastic. Her growl is like really strong and just it's focused. Um, but yeah, so for Regan, like she goes super hard and super heavy, and you can hear that darkness when she does her stuff. And I think with Akane, it's a little bit more sweet. There's a little bit more sweet, but only slightly so. What's the rest? Wait, what did I say? But what's the rest? I don't know what the rest is. Analogies only go so far. Um, but yeah, the PA system. I mean, it was really small venue. I mean, gosh, maybe 150. And I think when you have that kind of venue size, there's only so much good sound you can get with like the acoustics. Um, and plus I was like right in front of the bass amp. But you know, more actually more during the sound check. Like I was hearing Akane, I was like, God, she's great live. Um, she really holds her own. She's young, but again, there is a maturity to how she sings. Um, yeah, so I was impressed. Color me impressed. And Naho was just like all over the place, just hopping up and down and running around and like doing all these poses. Um, and their support drummer, because right now Dimrays is only Akane and it's Naho. Have fun, man. We'll be here, maybe. But yeah, you can check this more of it out later. Um, but the drummer, support drummer, wow. I mean, like Free Aqua, the drummer was explosive and had that snap, but the drummer who I don't know like who this girl is, first time seeing her, but God, she was just like Hulk smash on those skins. Like, God, I mean, a lot of the heaviness from tonight was because of her. So props to her. Like she brought it. Like she brought the hammer down big time. So really good stuff. Really good stuff. Okay. Yeah, Toronoko. Ah, that would be a fun show. Toronoko, that place, nice and small and cozy. Um, but yeah, again, I don't know her name. I don't know who she plays with as well, but she did an outstanding job tonight. The guitarist held his own, very competent. Nothing that like totally stood out to me, but again, overall, just really good stuff. And I will say this, with Dimrays, if depending upon how much growling you like, how much sort of death voice and how much heavy you like, they go pretty heavy. I mean, they do include like they had like backing tracks to most of their songs, and they do incorporate like loops, and they do have like little hip hop and stuff, and different other things. But when they go heavy, they go really heavy, and there is definitely a lot of growling. So if you're not into that, maybe they're not for you. But if you are into the heavy, then definitely, if you are in Japan and you're in the area, you do want to check them out live. Um, it's just a really good time. So I will say that tonight was really fun. Two bands I've never heard before. Um, and then having the floor live. So going back, oh, but with Dimrays, I do have some video footage. I asked Akane if I could record. So I did record some stuff, and at some point I'll try to edit it together and then post it on MNN so you guys can check it out. Um, and I asked her if an interview would be good at some point in time. She said yes. So if that does work out, then somewhere along the line I will be able to talk to them. And since they're in Osaka and it's just the two of them, you know, who knows? Maybe we can like grab some coffee or walk around Dotonbori, something, hang out and just more of a chill interview. But we'll see. We'll see. Whatever it is that they're comfortable with. Now, yeah, it was interesting. It was really interesting because I mean, again, you had the bands running around with the crowd, jumping, going into the crowd. They really love that. But here's the thing, and this is where I kind of have issues with certain people, and you know, please um, don't mistake what you hear on the news and what you read in articles about, you know, Japanese people. It's not all Japanese people. Um, they're not all like clean and sober and upright and disciplined and like you know, you do have people who just are off, as you would anywhere, not because they're Japanese, but just anywhere. And because it was a floor live, fans had the opportunity to actually cross over onto the stage. So they went past the monitors and went into like the stage area. And you know, the bands went along with it. I don't know if they minded or not. I don't know if they liked it. It seemed like some of it they did. I don't know if they liked or appreciated all of it. I think there were certain fans who were a little bit fanatical and kind of crossed a line, like literally and figuratively, and maybe lacked boundaries and kind of, to me, as I was watching, kind of went into like creeper, stalker, like I don't think you should do that. And it's interesting because there was one guy that I've seen before. I've seen him like, at a couple of shows, and he is very sort of like over the top earnest and like, going off on stuff. And like here's the thing. If a performer decides to get in your face, if a performer jumps into the crowd and gets in your face and gives you the mic, hey, like the world's your oyster, do whatever you want, go at it, you know. But what I didn't appreciate about certain people tonight was, and again, like one guy in particular, a couple of guys, but like getting right in the face, like literally, it's like it's this close, and like it's like aggressively like in your face. It's not cute, it's not fun, it's not uplifting, it's not like together. Yeah, it was very grab assy, like from what I saw, and I really didn't like that. And it just, I mean, yeah, I just I don't know if you guys know this or not, but like one of the really biggest things and one of the reasons why I love Japan so much is that for the most part, most people are very respectful. And respect to me is a big deal in my life and how I treat people, how I treat people, how I speak to them, how I interact with them. And it's like if you have somebody this close to your face and like pumping their fist and like showing like a lot of aggression, which it's great. I know you're letting off steam, but it's just, yeah. Oh, hey, Ricardo. Oh, Rio de Janeiro. That's where you're from. What's up, man? So yeah, I don't mind people having fun. I like to have fun. I don't mind getting crazy. If you've seen footage of me at bandmate shows, like I like to get nuts and totally fine, but respectfully nuts. But when I don't know, there are just certain people. It's like I get it. You're an older person. You're single probably. You don't really have someone to like love, and so you want to like get it all out to these girls that are performing in front of you. But like, dude, just yeah. So yeah, there's always gonna be like that guy or those guys, and hey, it is what it is. But yeah, so it was very cool. Some people don't know the difference. Um, yeah, so tonight was cool. I was very fortunate. I told Scott about me wanting to maybe go out to the show, talk to Dimrays, and then try to get them more into the spotlight. Because, again, Alan, Dakotic, they did that with their reaction. Ryan did that with his interview, and you know, sorry, too much talking. And I really have been kind of holed up in my place, looking for work, trying to clean up if and when I move, like all these things. But yeah, I was telling Scott about this, and he said, "Hey, I'll cover you for the show," and I really appreciated that. Cause yeah, I mean, I would love to continue to go out to like more shows and talk to more bands and interview them and try to get them again more into the spotlight. Um, but it's a bit tough right now. I'm not in the best position financially and otherwise, so um, yeah, I'll leave it at that. So yeah, I was thankful for tonight. It was cool to have that experience. It was cool to have the floor live. It was cool to see Free Aqua Butterfly. It was cool to see Dimrays and to talk to them. And if you guys did see the interview that Ryan did, Naho, she said she's really into like 80s music. So she was saying like, oh, she loves Queen, Journey. And then tonight I was talking with her, and then she also mentioned she likes the Eagles, Steely Dan. So, but it's interesting because even Akane, who is supposed to be a fan of Hyde from The Arc-en-Ciel, and it's interesting. Like he's had that band has had a massive impact on Japanese musicians. Um, 'Cause a lot of people name them. Um, but yeah, what's really interesting is that you have people who are really into, these bands, but their sound is nothing whatsoever like them. And it always reminds me of Eddie Van Halen saying like, I love Eric Clapton. I can play pretty much every solo he's done, but I sound nothing like him. So, yeah, he is. He is. Yeah, so that was tonight. Again, a Monday night, and the floor live works because they know that it's going to be a smaller crowd. Um, and so if you are able to watch a show and you see or hear floor live, try to check it out, even if it's a band that maybe you don't know, because it's a really interesting experience. And, very rarely will you be able to get that kind of experience where you're seeing them like face to face directly. And again, for me, sort of the highlight, even though I really like enjoyed watching both bands, was just Saki, the bassist from Free Aqua Butterfly, coming over and like, hey, come on, let's get into it. Um, and because I said that I was from overseas, at one point she's like, I love you, and I was like, oh God, don't do that. You're cute, you're a musician, don't do that. And then when I was leaving, I told her, oh, thank you so much. Because of you, I had a really good time. So thank you. She's like, oh, it's good to see you. And again, she's like, bye. I love you. I was like, ugh. Girls. What was it that I wanted to, where is it at? Where is it at? Oh, where did I put it? Ah, here it is. Oh, and also during Dimrays, their set, Naho's pick flew out and like towards the center monitor, and I guess nobody saw it. Nobody picked it up, so I just kind of went in, and then went ahead and grabbed it, and I said, "Is it okay?" She's like, "Yeah." So, Naho's pick, which is interesting because I don't know any bassists that really play with a jazz pick like this small. So this here, Bright Ear, this is Ayumi's, which I got in December, right? So again, it's the same size. And then you have here, this is Yuri's from Hades. And again, the difference. Usually bassists play with the bigger pick because again, they're thicker strings, they're heavier, and so when you're hitting it, yeah, she does use the bigger pick as well. So I have hers too back here. I'm getting quite the collection. It's kind of nice. I got Miku's last time, and I have Misa's. I don't have, and I do have Akane's stick, but I don't have Kanami's pick. So maybe one day. Maybe one day. All right, so with that, yes, she does. She uses a small one. But with all of that, that was tonight's show. Do you guys have any questions about Free Aqua Butterfly, about Dimrays, anything else that you guys would like to ask me about now that I've kind of gotten through all of that? Yeah, I pretty much went through. Oh, here's the other interesting thing, which is really funny. When you go to a show in Japan, did they play 40 minutes each? 40 minutes. So Dimrays did 8 songs because I saw their set list. Yeah, 8 songs. But they finished early. They finished like 10 minutes early. How do you get listen to something else? Yeah, 40 minutes each. I'm not sure how many songs Free Aqua did. But 40 minutes isn't bad. Usually when you have a two-man At least the shows that I've been to, the smaller ones, they usually do like half an hour. But because it was only two bands, um, 40, and then if you're lucky, maybe you'll do 50, a 50-minute set with like two bands, maybe three. I guess that's possible too. Um, yeah, Dimrays just like blew past like everything, like with their songs. Again, both bands very high energy. They're both Osaka bands. Um, and what I've noticed, because well, actually, I don't know if this other band is Osaka, but they're sort of like this genre of like, do you guys know Dizzy Sunfist? So Dizzy Sunfist, they call themselves Osaka Core, and then a similar band, Slingshot Million, or I forgot their name exactly. Maybe one of you know, but they call themselves Happy Punk. Uh, but there's this very, I would love to do more interviews. Again, it's tough right now. Oh, Sai Sega's interview, I did an interview with them last month in December. The interview will be out hopefully tomorrow. I had some issues with my computer and with subtitles and stuff, so hopefully that will be out sooner rather than later. But I'm hoping for tomorrow night, so you guys can keep a heads up for that. But I think Osaka has this like more fun, playful quality. I don't know how to explain it really. There's this brightness to some of the bands that I've heard from Osaka. But actually, it's interesting because that's how Free Aqua Butterfly was to me. But Dimrays was actually a lot heavier. And they sound to me, and they seem more like a Tokyo band. And I don't know if that makes sense. Hey, Peter, whenever, if you're willing to hook me up with a show, I'm more than happy to. And I will definitely do what I can. Dizzy Sunfist for me, I actually went to a show with Michael Barber last year, and it's almost too happy and too upbeat for me. And I don't know if that makes sense. Um, yeah, Dizzy was just okay for me. I know they have a lot of fans and like a lot of energy. They have a lot of fun, and like their fans are just like crowd surfing, moshing, having a great time. So that was fun to see. But sound wise, for me, it didn't quite work. It felt a little bit too light. A little bit too light for me. Hey, what's up, SJ? Arigato gozaimasu. Red dogs. Okay. Well, you got to put that on Twitter or somewhere because I'm going to forget anything you type right here. So, yeah, there are, again, a lot of shows happening. Like this Saturday. Hold on, let me check the calendar. Where am I? February? No, this isn't February. January. This Saturday. Thanks. Thanks. I really enjoyed that interview. Especially because Arisa, the vocalist, I didn't realize how fun she was. She's a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that. I think I really enjoy talking with people who just like having fun. Oh yeah. I've seen her, but I haven't like delved into anything. I've just seen it. Maybe a couple of videos on Twitter somewhere. Maybe you posted something. But yeah, there's a lot of shows happening, which I would like to go to, and I would like to update you guys. But again, I'm not quite in that place at the moment. So, but like this Saturday, the She-Glapes, Majestina Saga, Alistopia. Who else is there? There's a few bands playing at Big Twin Diner Shovel. So I'm not sure who else there is right now. I have to go and look. But yeah, so I am trying to get to Tokyo, and it's been a few months, and I really thought that come 2024 I would be doing a live stream from my place in Tokyo. But that is not the case, and that is not happening. It's been hard, to be honest, trying to find work, and I think part of it is the fact that I am an older guy, even though I look a little bit younger without the beard, and I got my mom's jeans. See, I'm wearing them right now, my mom's jeans. Did you like that? I don't think you did. I think you hated it. I'm sorry. Please don't go away. No, I like it. It feels good on my butt. Um, but I do really want to, thank you so much, Mike, for those words. I really do want to get in there. I really want to get into Tokyo, get into more bands and help support them. Um, yeah, I mean, that's the dream, really. The dream is to, like, meet these bands. And of course, I love going to, the concerts. I love watching them, hearing them, discovering great new music. But more than that, like, I don't want to just be like, oh, here's this band, here's this band, here's this band, here's this band. Like, that's not my thing. Like, I want to build relationships with these bands, and I really want to help in whatever way I can to support them and do it in a very, how do I say it? I want to be sturdy. I want to be reliable. I want to be a trustworthy person that will be there for these bands. Um, no, I am 47. 47. God damn. But yeah, if you cut me open, if you looked inside, you'd find cobwebs. Um, what else did I want to say? Goodness. Oh, okay, so I do have an interview with Saiseiga. It will be out soon. Um, I did talk to Dimrays, so I will try to get um, an interview with them at some point. And I think because Ryan did do an interview where they answered some like basic questions, I think maybe something a little bit more fun, something to kind of introduce you guys to just who they are and stuff. And I had wanted to do like a quick little video, but because it's only two bands, it got a little bit busy towards the end with them taking care of stuff. I don't want to hang around too long. So, but like I said, there is footage. I do have clips of the performance, and I will try to kind of put it together and like post it for you guys to hear. Um, not quite your age. I think that's closer to SJ, if I'm not mistaken. Something like that. SJ, or is it Chester? I don't know. I know we're all older, but yeah. Um, okay. Oh, okay. Oh, you guys are the same age, right? Like a month or a few months apart? I don't know. Are you guys twins? Is SJ and Chester twins? All right. Um, let's see. What else do I want to say? Okay. So I did give you the update of. You could just say you're the bald one. I think that's a little bit easier. um, but yeah. God, what the hell was I gonna say, you guys? Yeah. So the update is that I am not in Tokyo yet. I am doing everything I can. I actually have an interview tomorrow, and we'll see how that goes. But there's stuff. Oh, so this is January 23rd right now in Japan. Jeez, January 23rd. I really didn't think I would still be here. But next month, there will be the Bandmade. What are people calling it? The spin-off show? Is that what they've called it? Basically all these other songs that they wanted to perform at Yokohama, but couldn't. They'll be performing next month on the 22nd. So I will be there in Tokyo. Um, and while I am in Tokyo, there will be an opportunity for me to meet up with Hades again. And I don't think I'm at liberty to say why or what yet. Um, but if things work out and if timing goes right, then I will be able to give you guys some behind the scenes stuff of things that they're working on. So that should be exciting. I think most of you, I think most of you who are watching know that Hades is a band that has become very dear to me. Um, and part of that, you know, this is the really interesting thing that's happened to me last year is that I no longer base bands just on, their album or their songs or their performance. Like it's come to a point where I don't know if base bands is the right word, but I base bands on how well I click with them, on how close I'm able to get with them, how cool they are, and how well we mesh. Not to say that they are like I'll love them to death. I'll do anything for them. Um, but yeah, it's really weird. Like I've met a lot of bands and talked to a lot of bands, and there are certain groups that you just like that. And it works really well when you have like really outgoing people like Mayo and Sara in the band because they are the two like massive extroverts and just like they're warm and bright as sunshine. So um but there are bands that at least for me I don't quite click. And so that's starting to make a difference in how I feel about them, which is really strange because that's never happened to me before. And there's never been a reason for that to happen before because I've never been this close to bands. Um, and I'm sure some people out there have. You guys have had relationships with like all these, different bands and maybe even famous ones. But for me, this is the first like this. So, but yeah, so next month, February, Bandmate Tokyo, and then maybe some Hades. And I spoke with Sara, and she was the one who actually suggested like doing some of these behind the scenes stuff. So that'll be pretty cool, and I hope I really can do that. So we'll see what happens, because I don't really know. The future is just and I'll leave it at this information. So if you guys don't know, we do have a Patreon, MNN Tokyo Plus. There is a base subscription of just $2 a month, so $24 a year if you do want to help support us with that. And if you want to get extras, which you can check out if you go to the site MNN Tokyo Plus, you will see different options as well. And there is more good stuff coming. And when I get to Tokyo, there'll be like loads of stuff coming. But on top of that, to help support, myself, I will be offering language lessons as well. So, if you would like to have language lessons, maybe some of you want to learn Japanese or brush up, even just conversationally. If you want to learn Korean, because I do know Korean as well. Or maybe you just really suck at English and you want me to read bedtime stories to you or children's books. I can do that too. So, any one of those languages that you want some help with, then I am very happy to help you guys with that. You guys can go ahead and contact me, and my email is ps1lim, Lim, at gmail. So if any of you guys are interested, I'll be posting the information on Twitter and maybe Facebook as well. But if anybody's interested in learning the language or just having conversations in the language to practice, you can reach out to me and I'll make that available as well. And then I'll give you details of cost and whatever. It won't be expensive. Yeah, not too much. So, but yeah, other than that, I'll leave this. I'll leave the last few minutes. I'll close it up at an hour. But if you guys have any questions, thank you so much. I hope the interview does go well. Yeah, I hope it goes well. I hope I get a job soon. I don't like being unemployed. Oh, but I do want to thank the people though. Learning Korean helps with the cute K-pop girls. Hey, learning Korean helps with the cute Japanese girls. Let me tell you, I was teaching English at a university, and I finished the English class. And as I was walking past the other classrooms where Korean was being taught, it was full of, oh, this sounds really creepy, so I don't, but it was full of Japanese college girls. But that sounds just really creepy, so I'll just leave it at that. I thought, hmm, Korean is definitely a language to learn, whether it's for Korean girls or Japanese girls, or just enjoying and learning the language and the culture for itself. You know, we don't want to be creepers. So, um, yeah, but language really has. Chester, you go find yours first. Use your Japanese. Use your N3 JLPT level Japanese. Um, yeah, language has helped me a lot. Like when so here's a story I'll tell you is my father he and my mom moved to the States from Korea in 1971. And I think my dad actually went a little bit earlier. And in the beginning, um, I think he did try learning the language, but because of work and just trying to like, pay for everything, and then he started making some pretty good money. He kind of put the language lessons aside. But later on, it turned out that he was getting screwed over by people who spoke English much better than him, and he didn't know what was happening exactly with contracts and whatever else. Um, and so what he would always say to me is, Peter, I really regret not learning English more when I was younger. When I had some time, I should have learned English. I should have learned English. I should have learned English. I can't tell you how many times I heard my dad say that. And that stuck with me. And so when I went to Korea and pre-Korea, I studied a lot of Korean and I did improve a lot. Um, Being able to have a 2 hour conversation with my dad using only Korean was something that I deemed impossible before, but it's no problem now. Um, and then even now in Japan, learning the language is such a huge thing. And I really would recommend it, especially if you are into Japanese music. Um, and I don't know, I guess some of you feel like, well, I'm in the States, nobody around me speaks Japanese, there's no point of it. And I guess you could look up the translated versions of songs for the lyrics, but it's interesting because when I was younger and I was really into music, lyrics meant a great deal to me. And I got into sort of my classic rock phase where it was a lot of Beatles, Stones, even like Bob Dylan. I mean, just, all these different bands, but the lyrics really meant something. Um, and being into Japanese music, I find that I don't take as much time or effort um, But man, how much more would you love some of this music if you just knew what they were saying? And I think a lot of us say like, oh, you know, like their music transcends language, so we don't need it. And it's true, you don't need it, but we don't necessarily need vacation, you know? We don't necessarily need sort of these luxury things, but if we have it, it's great. So, this isn't me just trying to sell like you guys. Oh, like don't get me wrong. I think music is phenomenal, but when you understand the lyrics and the things that are being said, it makes a huge impact. At least to me. Like I think for some people, maybe just the music is enough and that's fine. And that's how a lot of us have gotten by with, you know, a lot of music that we listen to now. Um, but I know for me, especially when I was younger, like lyrics were such a huge part of the music. Um, you know, I can I still call myself a musician if I stopped playing years ago? But you know, I used to consider myself a singer-songwriter, and lyrics meant so much to me, more than a riff, you know, more than something that was catchy. It was something that was meaningful and that could connect with people. Like that was my thing. So, but anyway, that's me rambling a little bit about lyrics and learning the language. But you know, you do you. And if you're happy with where you are, then who am I to, you know, question that? I just, as long as you're enjoying yourself and you're at peace with where you are and you're having a good time, good on you. And I wish the same for me as well. So, but yeah, um, I think that's just about it. Other than trying to get work and other than being in Tokyo next month, I don't know if there's anything else that I can really share with you that's extra. So, um, yeah. Any last questions? Anything at all? This is where you can ask me anything and it's okay. Because I won't be distracted and forget what I was gonna say. Yeah, I mean all of it matters, right? Um, like the impact for me, because the biggest musical influence for me was the Beatles, um, and what they taught me personally was it's about the song. It's all about the song, the final product. So even if you can do all these licks and riffs and do, you know, like whatever, does it support the song? Does it make the song better? And just because you can do it doesn't mean that you should do it. So a lot of people, what I've noticed, a lot of musicians, they try to show off what they can do in a song, but the song itself isn't the best because it's not arranged and produced for the sake of the song. It's more for them to showcase what they can do. But and again, people will have differing opinions, and that's fine. This is just me. But for me, it really is the song itself is the core of everything, and anything else, um, really, it because if I don't like a song, regardless of how talented you are, then it doesn't really matter. And like one of the reasons why Bandmate was such a huge thing for me when I first heard them was they had fantastic songs. It wasn't just that they were amazing instrumentalists, which they are, but the songs were awesome. The arrangements were awesome, you know? And if I'm being honest, like I really liked it when Misa was a little bit more minimal and she was doing things that were like more memorable. Um, like that's like my cup of tea. So, but yeah, anywho, we're just about at an hour, so I really want to thank you guys for having watched this and been with me. It's been a while since I've done a live stream. Um, I will be doing hmm, Don't Let Me Down. It's a good song. Um, I will be doing another live stream to introduce uh to introduce some of the bands I want to interview this year. So Dimrays is one of them, which I just mentioned right now, but there are other bands that I didn't get to interview last year, and just other bands that I would, really like to be able to talk to and get to know and introduce to you guys as well. So that live stream should be coming up later on this week. I'll let you know. Okay. But yeah, so tonight, free Aqua Butterfly, look them up. It's spelled exactly the way that you hear it. And then Dimrays. And yeah, I actually, my favorite song of theirs is T equals Pain. I'm not sure if that's Don't Let Me Down, Don't Let Me Down. Yes. Two great songs. Regardless of the lyrics, I still love Bandmaid's Don't Let Me Down. It's got such a raw punk vibe to it. I love it. So, okay, guys, that's that. I hope you guys enjoy your Monday. I hope you guys had a good weekend, and I hope to see you guys again sometime soon. So thank you so much for supporting MNN. Thank you to all of you who have subscribed, who have done all the good stuff. You really, really help us out a lot. So thank you guys. Oh, where are you, Dennis? What state or country? America? Dennis, good. Sounds American. Yeah, and if there's any new stuff that comes up, I will let you know. Yeah, that's God. Like, it's been fairly warm here comparatively in Japan where I am. So, okay, guys. No more rambling. I hope you guys stay warm, stay healthy, be careful out there. You don't know who or what's gonna get you. But yeah. Oh, hey, Kurt. Always good to see you. Hi. I hope you're well. Thank you so much. But yeah, thank you guys for all your support in every way. And really hoping this year will be just as fun, just as exciting, just as memorable. And I'll be able to meet more of you. Although, yeah, we'll get to that at another time. So, okay, guys, enjoy the week. I'll see you when I see you. This has been Peter from MNN. Bye. Here we go. Good night.